Assalamu alaikum, fellow Toastmasters. This is Talha bin Hamid, your Club Road Director once again. For many of you, this is a very exciting time of the year. You have put up your name for the club president, or maybe you've already elected. You are already elected as club president, and if you have, congratulations. Welcome to the big league. I thought that I would share some of my experiences as club president so that some of it you may find helpful and maybe incorporate it into your strategy. Uh, but first, you need to see where I am coming from. I have been the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club from 2018 to 2019, and during my tenure, we went from 28 members to 66 members. We became one of the largest and the most decorated clubs in the entire world because we weren't just limited to member numbers, but we were gathering education awards also. This year, mashallah, the club has gathered more than 70 education awards and we are still going strong. So obviously the club is doing something right, and you know what, it is my deepest desire that every club in Pakistan does as well as my home club or even better, because as stated, my goal is that every club in Pakistan should be a world-class club. Now, going into the tips and tricks, first of all, roll up your sleeves, get ready for work, because you might be thinking that president is the topmost designation in the club, and the pyramid is like this. You are the president, and then the executive committee, and then the members. But breaking news, in Toastmasters and in every service organization, it's entirely the opposite. It's like this. You are at the bottom, then the executive committee, and then the members. Members are the driving force of Toastmasters. Did you know that world headquarters is ready 24/7 to service members? Yes, you can contact them on any issue, take advice on any issue. So this is how important members are in Toastmasters hierarchy. So my first tip would be that, get ready to work, because you're not the president of a corporation, you're not the president of a country, you're the president of a volunteer organization, and that happens to be one of the best volunteer organizations on the entire planet. Secondly, connect. You need to be on a first name basis with all the members. Don't leave it to the ExCom, don't leave it to VP Education, don't leave it to VP Membership. Yes, they have their own jobs to do, they have their own equation. Remember, your equation is different. You have a different setting, you have a different point of view, you have a different perception. Because you know what, whenever a new member or a guest walks into a club and they see the president, they look up to the president, because for them the president is the boss of the club. So connect with members individually. Once you do that, the members will develop such a sense of loyalty to you that you will be surprised and amazed, and you will be questioning yourself just like I did, that what did I do? I mean, why do people love me so much? It was only because of the connection. And you know what, it's not a personal connection at all, because you are there for 1 year only and you cannot be reappointed president. You have to give the charge to someone else. So ultimately that bond is with the club, and that's what gets you renewals. Which brings me to my next point. What do you think drives member renewals? Is it how much fun do you have during the meeting? Is it an interesting table topic session? It is perhaps the certificates and the medals and the posters that you give them? No. Only one thing. Prepared speeches. Yes, you heard that right. Prepared speeches are the crux of a Toastmaster club. Prepared speeches get you those ticks on the distinguished performance report. Bear that in mind. No matter how fun your table topics are, no matter how well your Toastmaster of the evening is performing, no matter how good your evaluators are, none of that is adding up in the numbers in the distinguished performance report. The only thing that is adding up is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And obviously, members and new members. But those things are interconnected, because guess what? Members are also influenced by prepared speakers. They're not drawn in by table topics, they're not drawn in by other activities. Yes, that they play a role. But when a member decides to join and embark on the Toastmasters journey, then it is the prepared speeches that are driving them. So my tip to you is prioritize prepared speeches. Have as many prepared speeches in your club as you can afford. And if you have to reduce the table topic session to maybe 5 speeches or 6 speeches, go ahead and do it. Because the lesser duration of table topics won't take away from the fun of the meeting, but they will add tremendously to the value of the meeting, and that will add tremendously to member engagement, because guess what, at the end of 6 months the member will evaluate how far they have progressed, and if they see 1 or 2 levels crossed, they will certainly renew. You won't have to even chase them, they will renew themselves. That's my experience. Another tip is that keep a keen eye on members' educational progress, because Toastmasters is first and foremost an education program. It's not a social forum, it's not even a club, it's an educational program. And I know VP Education is in charge of that, but you need to keep an eagle eye. You need to see where the club is going. You need to see when we are reaching 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, 8 goals, or 9 goals. It is your lookout. Don't leave it to VP Education, and which brings me to my next step. You are in charge of the club, and you know what that means? That means that yes, you can instruct your XCOM members, you can give them targets, but if they don't do them, what do? Do you scold them? Do you write them angry emails? Do you write them messages? Do you grab them by the collar and take them to the corner and snub them? None of those things. You are a Toastmaster. And when a Toastmaster faces such situation, they do the only thing that a Toastmaster can do. Pick up the mantle, grab the bull by the horns, and do it yourself. Unfortunately, that's the bad news about being a president. You have to plug the gaps. You have to do everything that another XCOM member is not doing. So for example, if the secretary is not convening the meetings, you need to convince them to convene them. If the VP membership is not pulling in members, you need to offer to help them. If the VP is struggling with educational awards, with timetable, with meeting agendas, you need to help them. My next step would be, you are the face of your club. You are the ambassador of your club. And you should represent your club everywhere you go. You should represent it before the district leadership, before the area leadership, before the division leadership. You should remain connected to other clubs. You should hold combined meetings. You should hold speakathons with them. You are the one who's tasked with public relationing. Yes, that sounds weird, right? It's supposed to be the VP PR, but no, ultimately you are responsible for the club. So yes, VP PR should be doing it. But remember one thing. When a vice president does something, it's different. When a president does something, it's completely different. If you will reach out to another club for whatever purpose, they will have to agree. If your VP PR reaches out, perhaps they would say to them, we need to talk to your president. That's the power the president holds. So please realize your power, realize your potential. Another tip that I would like to give you is that you need to be very active on social media. You need to be continuously active on your club WhatsApp group. You need to be the most active person on your club WhatsApp. Not the VP Education, not the VP PR, not the VPM, but you. Because remember, as I told you, members have a personal connection with you. So you need to constantly send encouragement. You need to recap meetings. You have to issue awards to people who complete level certifications. You need to do everything. And whatever you do needs to pass only 2 tests. Does it celebrate our members? Does it add value to their journey? Or does it attract new members? That's it. Everything that you do should meet one of those 2 goals. And when you will be active on social media, when you will be seen encouraging the members, when you will be seen celebrating their achievements, guess what? That's what will increase the motivation of the member and strengthen the bond between you two further. Because I'm stressing again and again, XCOM is performing their duties, but the president needs to have a relationship with each and every member of the club. My next tip would be that in order to engage with the members more and in order to engage with the guests, you need to send them personal messages. WhatsApp is very good for that, you know. So for example, if someone has made a good speech, you send them a private note of encouragement or an audio message, and it is you who have to chase new members. It is you who have to chase guests. Yes, VP membership will do it. Maybe VP education, VP PR will do that too. But you being the president, when you will ask them to sign up on the form, to submit the fees, trust me, and I say this from experience, trust me, it will be far different. It will be far different. It will mean something else when you will do it. Another tip that I would like to give you is that be active within the club. You know, don't hesitate from giving speeches. Don't hesitate in asking your XCOM to give speeches, because speeches are the bread and butter of Toastmasters Club. And if your members aren't motivated to speak, then no matter how much fun you have in your club, you aren't fulfilling your duty. So if your XCOM members continue to give projects, they continue to win certifications, that will be the impetus for other members and they will be competing for slots. So yes, that's my biggest tip, that you know, if your club is seeing less speeches, less interest from members, motivate your XCOM, motivate yourself to give speeches. You have to set an example. Trust me, you cannot sit in the wings, you cannot sit hiding behind your desk and just let everybody else do the Toastmasters thing. You have to be a Toastmaster yourself first and foremost. And my last tip would be that as president, you get to open and close the meeting. That's a golden opportunity. Make a speech out of it. Make a motivational speech. When you open a meeting, invite all the members warmly, you know, thank them, recap the past meeting perhaps, and express your expectation that this will be even better. And when you're closing, you should thank the members once again. You should praise the speeches. You know, there's so many endless ways to do that, but you know, those little speeches make or break your relationship with the club. The more effort you put into them, the more returns you will get. And trust me, I speak from experience. I've been told by people that sometimes the president's opening and closing speech is the most attractive part of a club's meeting, and sometimes that is what convinces guests to turn into members. So to summarize, you should engage. You should engage with your XCOM, but you should also be ready to roll up your sleeves and do everything yourself if your XCOM is not performing. Yes, that's the harsh reality of life. You should have a service mindset. You are at the bottom of the pyramid. You should be humble, and you should always be there to serve, not to lead. You should open and close the meetings creatively. You should be the one chasing after the guests. Okay, you should be the one motivating members to give speeches, and you should be the one keeping an eye on the distinguished performance report. You should be the one who should keep an eye on the relationships of the club within the area, within the division, within the district. And finally, when you're done with all that and the year is about to close, then be very careful about who you convince to be the next president, because your duty has not ended. You are still a Toastmaster. You are still a part of the community. You still owe it to your club, to your area, to your division, to your district, and to the Toastmasters community to develop leaders. And when you're no longer the president, or when you're on the way to becoming immediate past president, trust me, that does not give you a license to just stand on the side and let things happen. Be active. The more active you are, the more engaged you are, the more people will consult you for advice, for guidance, for feedback, and that's the only way to be a Toastmasters. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm putting my email address in the comments. I'm also putting my cell phone number in the comments below. If you need any sort of guidance, please don't hesitate to consult me. And as a parting shot, I'll just say this. I'm the person responsible for adding more than 65 Toastmasters to Pakistani Toastmasters community. So maybe it was obviously Allah's blessing. It was the work of my XCOM as well. But I also must have done something right. So I would love it if you can learn from my experience, if you can share your experiences with me and teach me something new, and together we can take this district to new heights. Thank you so much.